Welcome back to another love inspection. Here are some cheating stories that made me gasp in 10 seconds or less. We start off with the time my ex-wife cheated on me with a minor. What the Okay, I guess we go there. So, full disclosure, I am for legal reasons and for privacy reasons going to be kind of changing a couple of details of this story, but for the most part, this is an actual true story that happened.
Got it. I got it.
Uh, I get the disclaimer because when I first read the title, I said this is not possible. I mean, who would even do that? But this is 2026. Anything can happen, right?
That's what she said.
If this is too touchy or weird or inappropriate, I will definitely remove or delete this. But don't remove it. Don't remove the tea. We enjoy the tea. Come on. So when I was with my now ex-wife, we had a very not good relationship. Uh, you could say you had a bad relationship, not a very not good relationship. Oh my god. Almost literally fighting every single day, yelling at each other, cursing at each other. Ooh, that sounds toxic. Calling each other's names, that is not cool, not ever. Okay, don't call your partner names. If you have to do that, it's better that you break it off. It doesn't serve anyone. It just really wasn't an ideal situation. That's putting it lightly, huh? And we are both absolutely miserable with each other. To cope with the brutal marriage, both of us were having emotional affairs which we were both aware of. Well, that's certainly progressist of you. And I don't want to say that we were okay with it, but what do you mean you don't want to say that you were okay with you were okay with it while it was happening, weren't you? Mm.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Come on, let's see some more. But it was one of those situations where it was what it was. We didn't want to deal with each other, so it was kind of fine if we wanted to burden someone else. What? Let me read that again because I didn't understand a thing. So you are both aware of the fact that you are cheating on each other, and you don't say that you are okay with it, but it was what it was. So you kind of, complied with it, I guess. I guess that happens in some couples, and if you are both okay with it, fine, right? We didn't want to deal with each other, so it was kind. Is that relationship though? If you don't want to deal with each other and you don't want to talk to each other and you keep having emotional affairs on each other, is that a really can we call that a relationship? Because I don't think that we can call that a relationship, let alone a marriage. Let's see how this unfolds. Unbeknownst to me though, one of the people she was having an emotional affair with was a minor, female if it matters. What? Who she texted every single day? I only know that she was a minor because she blatantly admitted one day to me when I asked who she was texting. I obviously wasn't happy that she was texting somebody underage because that's a huge no-no. Good, at least you have some moral compass. I mean, I'm not saying that you don't have a moral compass, but you seem to kind of let your boundaries be pushed around, and you seem to comply yourself with the situation a lot. And I get it. It's hard to do clean breaks from people, especially people that you are married to, and go into divorce and all of that. But I think it's better than kind of going through the motions of having affairs and not having something stable. But then again, that might be just me because I really prefer something stable over any type of shenanigans like this. So there is that. But a minor, really? Do we really need to go that low? I mean, I hope you broke up with her after that, or divorced her, because you said ex-wife. Well, I suppose since you said ex-wife, you already divorced her. But let's see how we got there, right? Um, obviously wasn't happy that she was texting somebody underage because that's a huge no-no, and it's way too easy to get in trouble. And also, that's just manipulative and really kind of gross. But unfortunately, there wasn't too much I could do. What do you mean there wasn't too much you could do? You let me just name three things that you could have done. You could have talked with the girl, that person, kind of confronted her about the fact that maybe that girl that she is talking to, she might not even know that she's married. I mean, she is underage, and when people are underage and they are young and so on, they kind of believe everything they're being told, unless they know better, and without some form of parent figure to watch out for these things and kind of talk to them and inform them, it's most likely, mostly probable that that girl, that minor, she wasn't even in on the fact that your wife is married, and or has multiple affairs and so on. So I would say that one, you could have talked with that girl. Two, you could have broke things off right then and there with the wife, because I mean, how are you going to sleep, in the same. I personally couldn't sleep in the same, area with someone that I know was grooming someone else, or at least interacting with minors. It's
Ugh.
icky. Jesus Christ. Um. So, so. Unless, sorry, I got I went too far, maybe. There wasn't much you could do unless you had some type of proof that she was doing something not okay. Come on, you have the conversations, right? I mean, you can just go through your wife's phone or whatever and just get her the conversations with that minor, and because definitely she would have said something explicit or whatever. And generally flirting with minors is not okay as an adult. Okay, like, I'm not talking about, a 20 something years old talking to a 16 years old. Even if personally, I think that if you're under 18, you should really focus on your future, on your studies, on, your personal life, and getting into college and building a life for yourself, and then concern yourself with, feelings and the idea of dating and so on. Okay, because ultimately, yes, it's part of, a part of life to experience these types of things, and it's normal to have a crush or whatever. But I think it's, if you really want something stable, you should at least try to, hold off until you have more time to explore, to truly explore who you are and what you want from life, and what type of partner, what type of relationship you want to be in. Fast forward to a time when I was trying to get my Class M license, which I was doing an accelerated course, so it took all weekend and it was a little far from my house. So I was going to be home all the weekend. Please stop making so sen- sorry about that. Sentences that are so long. They are hard to understand. So you are getting your Class M license and you are doing an accelerated course. So it took all weekend and it was far from your house, and you aren't okay. So you aren't going to be home during the weekend because you were on that course in order to get your Class M license. Got it. All right, we we have understood the assignment. She took this opportunity to tell me that she was going to spend the weekend at her friend's place. The way she that way she wouldn't be alone at home. I kind of knew it was a lie, but I wasn't going to question it. I just told her to be careful. After the weekend was over and I came home, I asked her what she did while I was gone. And she, for whatever reason, decided to tell me the truth, which was that she spent the weekend at a hotel with her underage friend. Okay, I mean, props for being sincere. That takes a certain type of a little bit of crazy to admit that out loud to your partner, but okay. Obviously, I was not happy with this information because that's really wrong and messed up, and I really didn't want to be associated with the repercussions of somebody who was literally in a hotel room with an underage girl. Right? Okay, that is what no nonsense mentality would look like. Um, and that's what a responsible adult should do. When I asked her what they did, she again, for whatever reason, decided to tell me the truth, kind of, and said that she got this girl tip. Oh, fuck no. She got her
Oh, hell no!
tipsy and they were talking a lot and just getting a lot off their chests, to which I responded to which I, to which I, To which I responded, yeah, that's it, that's all you did? I really doubt that. To which she admitted to me that while they were talking and laughing, my ex-wife kissed the girl in a friendly way. What do you mean? Friendly way, right? It's friendly way. Oh, come on, this is getting gross. Ugh. This was generally too much for me to digest, and I knew somewhere in my gut that there's no way that that was the only thing that happened. Good, because it probably isn't. She probably knows how fucked up that is. Firstly, the getting someone drunk and then taking advantage of them, because this is what she is doing. She is getting an underage person drunk and then taking advantage of their vulnerability. It's clear what she is doing, and it's called grooming, and it's called grooming for a reason. You should go to the police with this information. I would go to the police with this information. Okay, that this is not okay. I mean, that it's one thing to have an open relationship. It's one thing to want to explore other people and you know be open to diverse experiences. But this is not it. This is not the experience one should be having. This is not okay, and this needs to be uh, cut, cut from your life, cut from existence if possible. She needs to go to jail, right to jail. Um. So, what did you do after that? Every time I pressed the issue, she just kept saying that it's all they did. Hmm. Later on, my ex-wife did get found out by the girl's mother. Oh, that must have been nice. The drama uh, that something was going on. Not so much the hotel thing, but that something not good was happening between my ex-wife and this girl. And she did get detained, but no charges were pressed on her since both her and the girl never admitted to doing anything inappropriate. She got lucky AF. Yes, yes, she did. But never stopped what she was. How do you not stop after that? So you realize that you could have gone to jail, okay, if that girl decided to pretend, because that this could have done a whole different route. There are people that in this scenario would say, okay, you pretend that you were taken advantage of. The mother could have pressed things a lot further, and the wife could have gotten to jail with these types of situations. I mean, for those who think that this type of behavior is okay and hitting on minors is okay, let that sink in. You could go to jail, okay? You could go to jail even if you didn't do something with them, because people are people. Some There are cases, documented cases, where some minors even took advantage of situations like this in order to kind of blame the other another person with money or whatever, for getting them pregnant and faking pregnancies and so on. So there are certain risks that you're taking with this type of behavior. So Come on, is it that hard to just, go after 18 years old and above? She got lucky, but never stopped doing what she was doing. I ended up divorcing her for a multitude of reasons, but the pedophilia thing was really not something I wanted to risk spending any more time with. And although I didn't have proof that anything really tremendous happened, I still think the behavior was absolutely disgusting, and I agree with you. Okay? Uh, I think that you should have divorced her a long time ago before. Before you kind of being started being complacent about the affairs and whatever, because that is not a relationship, let alone a marriage. Let's go to the next story. This was a wild ride, right? The second story does not disappoint. My sister's husband cheated on her with my friend. Let that sink in. I moved in with my sister, now 35, and her husband, now 35, when I was 15. Okay, so you're younger. Your sister's husband cheated on her with your. Ew! Oh no! This is another. Is this another minor situation? Because let's see. Let's not jump to conclusions yet. They basically became my second parents, and my niece felt like a little sister. Your okay, your niece felt like a little sister. I looked up to my brother-in-law a lot. He pushed me to try things like boxing, helped me get a job, supported me through school, and always reassured me I'd be okay. I would say, oh, that is so sweet, but we know the title, so we know things are going to go downhill. At the boxing gym where he coached, I met a girl. I'll call her Kristen. We became friends pretty quickly, as we went to the same high school and was just a grade under me. But over time, she got closer to my brother in law than to me. So, your friend Kristen was a grade under you and started getting closer to your brother in law, which is which was 35 at the time, right? No, it's now 35 when you were 15. Okay, so he was younger at the time. Got it. Got it. Okay, this is not going to be a minor situation, I suppose, or at least not of that gravity. Right. He became her mentor, and eventually they had this weird. Okay, no, it's going to be the teacher-student dynamic. That is fun to watch. I mean, we know from Pretty Little Liars, if you know, you know. Okay. Where it felt like they were closer than I was with either of them, her parents trusted him as well. I'll admit I felt jealous, especially since I was already butting heads with him a lot at home. My niece, now 13, being his actual daughter, didn't like her as well. Well, of course, he didn't like her as well because she, Kristen, most likely was flirting with that person, and children are usually very receptive about their surroundings. So they are going to clock those things. So Kristen, you're not getting away with it, okay? And you're not prepared for the shit show that's going to come when the wife finds out, and the child fully comprehends whatever you are doing. So, yeah, this is a a shit show in the making, guys. Let's see how this unfolds. Eventually, I stopped going to the gym and started college, so I wasn't around that much. But I later found out that my brother in law and Kristen had gotten very close. He was giving her rides from school, getting coffee with her. Why are you entertaining this? Why is the brother in law entertaining this? I mean, it is bad enough that she. It's one thing to have a crush as a minor on an older gentleman, because I think that's fine. We all have them, you know. We all fall in love with certain people that might be above our age, especially when we're younger. We might have crushes, but we don't always have to act on them. That's one thing, and it's bad enough that Kristen started acting on them, but the fact that the brother-in-law is also reciprocating these types of advances, that is bad. That is bad. So taking her out for activities, even camping together, oh, that is foul. And did the wife know? Was the wife aware of this? Your sister, was she aware of this? My sister thought it was an inappropriate, right? Because who that's one who is aware of the normal behavior reacts, and warned him to set boundaries, but he insisted it was innocent and he saw her like a daughter. Come on. Come on now. There are two possible things. Either he is sincere and he sees her like a daughter, or, kind of has this fatherly affection to her, and, does he do that for his own daughter though? Or niece or whatever? Is the niece there together with them? That is a good question to put, right? Because if the niece isn't invited or whatever, how is that appropriate? Why wouldn't you take your own niece, your own blood, you know, to to go camping, or strengthen this bond between you all? But you would go with Kristen or Kirsten or whatever her name is. Mm? Things escalated. He started going to her for emotional support about his. Oh no! Oh god! When I thought it was foul, it was going to be foul. I didn't expect this level of foul. Okay, how do you go for emotional support to a 15-year-old or whatever, 16? No, just a grade under you. So you were 15 and she was 14 to a 14-year-old. How do you go for emotional support to a 14-year-old? Jesus Christ. And then text her constantly and being more emotionally present for her than he was for my sister. My sister began to suspect emotional cheating or even grooming, especially since he'd known her since she was 14. God, I just thought for a moment we weren't going to get another grooming story, but here it is, because more and more people think, for some reason, think this is okay. I am flabbergasted. My flabbers are gasted. Okay, how? Let's see. Let's see how this unfolds, because we do have a continuation. Earlier this year, my sister found a Valentine's card in his desk describing kissing, holding hands, and physical affection. There were also photos of both of. Oh my god, of both of them. Kristen had just turned 18 for months before a cabin trip they took together, which is when he admitted things became fit. This is literally grooming. I mean, he said, well, he didn't set things up, but he definitely pursued her, because this, my guts. I feel my guts turning around whenever I think about, a male person kind of going on these types of trips and whatever. And it's not only in this case, in this scenario, let me be clear, but in this scenario, it's not only the brother-in-law's fault, it's also Kristen's fault, because she who was the one that started all of this, starting to, going for the crush or whatever that she had on the brother-in-law. They are both just as fucked up, I guess. Uh, so you can't totally say it was grooming, because grooming kind of implies that the victim is not really aware of where things are going and the other person's intentions. But it is foul indeed to wait, like, for a person to become 18 so you could become physical with them and cheat on your wife, I guess. That is just How do you do it? Literally, how do you do it, and how do you live with yourself after that when you come back home and you have to look your wife in the face and tell things like you're so beautiful or I love you or whatever. How can you love someone and then uh, cheat on them with like someone who is 10 years younger than her or more? That this is not okay. Okay, not okay. My sister confronted both of them. Kristen apologized. My brother-in-law admitted to it, and she said she said sounded like two teenagers being told to break up. I was devastated. I haven't been able to look at him the same, and he doesn't even know that I know. Oh. Now my sister is trying to separate from him, but they're still living together because of money. She's afraid to tell Kristen's parents or take legal action because she's scared things getting worse, and if he loses the job, he won't be able to help with the rent. That is not a good situation to be in. I'd say I'd advise the sister to save up money as much as she can, and the moment that she has maybe a better job opportunity or um, I don't know, to just move out. There are also shelters, I believe, that she could try to get herself in, and if she truly, because she needs to get away from this. This is not okay, and seeing the person that cheated on you like every day and living with them, knowing that they didn't just cheat on you, they like groomed someone else. It's ugh. Just know I haven't seen her around college campus as we go to the same one now too, ever since I found out. But it's crazy to know she'd say hi to me at school during the time they were intimate. I know she was groomed, but I can't help feeling angry at her too, but you should feel angry at her as well because it's not it's not that she was groomed completely. She also was an agreeing party, a consenting party in all of this, and she knew what she was doing when she was going more and more to your brother-in-laws and so on. I mean, the intention certainly was there. Okay, maybe things might be people might be coming at me for saying this, but she had as much of a part to play in this as the brother-in-law, you know. And I know that maybe certain girls at certain age they have crushes, and it's normal to have crushes, but I think that the general consensus is that you are also able to separate you know uh, instinct from decisions. you know if the instinct tells you to sleep with someone who is doing 20 years older than you, then your rationality, your thinking, your ability to decide should tell you this is not going to be okay because that person is married, and it's going to be messed up, and it's going to affect me and my position at school and my image and so on. So you are not crazy, and you are not the a-hole for being angry at Kristen as well. I really think her parents should know, and that is right, her parents should know. But my sister is scared of the consequences. Why would you be scared about the consequences of another person's actions? Let them own the consequences of their own actions, and you the sister, take care of yourself and your future, and set up your future for your daughter and so on. Okay, my sister didn't take pics of anything, and he changed his phone passwords. She could probably just record the conversation. Yeah, okay, yeah. Once she does, if she goes through with this, and maybe she, decides to tell the parents or whatever, she needs to have proof of these allegations. Otherwise, the parents might not even believe her. So yeah, do your work, do whatever, gather evidence, and then Strike. All right. And I saved the best for last. All right. Wife preferred strangers in a video game over me. Well, isn't that the contemporary problem? Me and my now ex wife dated for 3 years before I married her. I'm 24 and she's a few months older than me. When we dated, I was a 100% provider, meaning of paid 100% of the bills so that she could stay at home and live a relaxing lifestyle. Oh, isn't that a dream? Okay? Because who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't appreciate that? Well, apparently the wife. During the time we were dating, I introduced her to my favorite video game called Call of Duty Mobile, or CODM for short. Okay. I hoped it would help her pass the time in between chores, waiting for me to come home. She loved it, but she loved it a little too much. Hmm. Okay. How much? She started playing it every day, even when I was home from a 16-hour shift. I didn't mind the quiet, but I was starting to lose her to this game. Well, it's funny because usually guys are the ones that women are complaining because they game too much and they spend too much time gaming and they ignore the emotional needs of their partners. But in this scenario, see, women can do it too. And I think we need to raise awareness on the games addictive capabilities, because ultimately it's everyone it's each person's ability and decision making to just say, okay, I'm going to stop now from playing the game like 2 hours later, unless they're doing some playing games professionally. They most certainly can say, okay, I'm going to play this game for an hour to relax, and then I'm putting this aside, putting the console or whatever aside, and then I'm doing whatever I need to do, cooking, cleaning, chores, etc. She actually played it so often that she became one of the top ranked players in the entire world, like top 0.01% good. Wow. Well, that's an achievement. Okay, I mean, at least she's being professionally good, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't take a toll on you, and that you don't have a right to express your discontent with the fact that she is spending so much time gaming and not taking care also of your needs. Obviously, I was impressed and encouraged her to do what I thought made her happy until it became a bigger problem later. How much bigger? Some time goes by. I decide it's time to level up our lives and go big time. I married her, joined the army, and during the 6 months of military training, she felt cold and distant on the phone. Well, that's definitely a bad sign. I mean, usually when people are in a long distance relationship, they tend to want to be closer, it's kind of painful because to stay apart, and simply because you want to feel that person's warmth near you, and you want to uh, every time that you reunite, uh, it basically warms you up, and you want to savor that moment so much so that it would last you for the entire time that you're going to be apart next, so like behaving distant over the phone and so on, that is not an option, not in a good relationship or in a relationship that is going well. So it's good that you are clocking it. She wouldn't reply to my messages, answer my calls, or if she did answer a call, she was always in the middle of a game and couldn't give me her full undivided attention. Anyways, to flew her out to be with me on my big graduation day, one of my proudest and most memorable days of my life. The day I saw her for the first time in over 6 months, I find out she had met another man on the game. I found. What? Oh no. I found out by her swiping through my graduation photos that she took on her phone, and she accidentally swiped too far when she was showing me the photos, and it showed me a screenshot of a conversation with her and another man. Oh, she is stupid. If you know that you're going to do that and you're going to show pictures over the phone, at the very least, you know, be smart and don't, delete those photos. I'm not saying, that's what she was doing was right, but at the very least, if you're going to like be an a-hole, be a smart a-hole. Oh, Jesus. I looked at it, questioned her about it, and realized that this is why she became so cold and distant. Right, because she was obviously something must have happened. I told you, it's not normal for someone to be distant and feel cold over the phone in a long distance relationship, especially if you didn't start as a long distance relationship. While I was away, forming the pathway for our future together, I eventually decided that she either needed to delete the game or that would be the end of us. She told me on the spot, 30 minutes after I graduated training, that she would rather keep the game rather than our marriage. Wow. Okay, then I hope you left her with the game. You said, okay, here's the console, and I'm out. Bye. That is the only way this should have gone. Why are there two more paragraphs on this? Um, at that moment, I walked her to the big gate at the front of the military base, dropped her off there, and said, "You hurt me real bad. You've been cheating on me. This is the last time you'll ever see me again. Good." And I walked back inside the base to celebrate with my graduating class. I was devastated and prepared to leave her as soon as possible. A couple of weeks go by. Somehow, she and her entire family convinced me to forgive her. Boy, how? How did they convince you? Based on what? And continue on with our marriage. Your marriage is not a marriage. That she's more married to the video game than she is to you. Like, let's be for real now. At this point, I'm in processing at my first duty station, and it's time to start looking for a home for the both of us. We pick out a nice place for a reasonable price, and together we drive 1,000 miles in an U-Haul, total home and back miles, to grab all our belongings and move into our first home. I don't know why you forgave her or why you tried to. I wouldn't move or do these big moves after something like this. I would stay and I would, look for the fact that she would prove that it was a mistake or whatever your parents and her would claim that this would be. Okay, if you say, okay, this is a mistake, then I will keep my distance for a little bit and keep an objective eye on your actions, so you would prove me that what you did was truly a mistake, that you own up to it, and you realize your what it was that prompted you to do that mistake, and you are not doing it. A month after we moved in, I get that funny feeling again. So I asked her if I could check her phone. Somehow she had found a way to hide certain apps from showing up on her app list on her phone. Yeah, that can happen. I think you can choose which apps are, the most recent ones or whatever shown. But I was able to find the hidden Discord app on her phone just by searching what apps she was using the most in her settings, also known as screen time. I open the app and find three different conversations with three different men. So it's not just one, it's three. Lord, please take the wheel because it's too much. Stretching back at least 2 or 3 months around the time I was nearing the end of my. She did. She did not even stop there. God. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. She told me she met the guys in CODM and they were just friends. Haha. I read through everything and was completely and utterly utterly disgusted by what I saw. I didn't just see cute nicknames for each other and a few heart emojis here and there. It was full on nudes. No way. I mean, I'm saying no way as if I don't know what nudes are. No, I know what nudes are, and I know that people do this all over the time, but no way that she lied so callously, you know? I mean, how do you keep a straight face and say forgive me or whatever, and then continue to do the things that you just ended up begging forgiveness for, or even more than those things? Call logs showing that they were on the phone together every single day, every single day, including when I was at my work doing my actual job after it had finally moved in together. So I knew it. So even after they continued to do this, and her talking shit about me to all the strangers and she had never met before. No, 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 to the bean with her. You know, you should make you should make like an etiquette or something and write trash on it, and then uh you know put it on her forehead, and then say, okay, this is your place. Into the trash with you. Jesus Christ. I took her phone that I paid for and was in my name, locked the bedroom door, and slept on the couch that night, and called her mom asking her to pick her daughter up that next day. You went for the mom. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's definitely the move, because this is not okay. This shouldn't have moved forward, you know, even after the whole shebang, the whole incident. From back during your graduation day. Okay, that is when you should have broke things off cleanly. She moved out. I divorced her. Now I have to also move out of the place I bought. Why? When you become single in the military, they won't give you housing payments. Oh, that is so not cool. Okay, that is so bad that you have to move out and you have to go through all that process to move things from one place to another. It can be exhausting. And I need to sell all of my furniture quickly. Now I'm single, about to move into the barracks, but at least I have a pretty cool job, right? Yes, yes, and you are very much appreciated for your service. Okay? This isn't one of those I'm an 18-year-old boy who married a stripper and was surprised to find out she might cheat on me, boo. Army story. It's good that you're making a lot laugh out of it, and you're taking things lightly. This was my woman, my wife. Her face was implanted in the vision of my future. Oh, okay. So you're hiding under the sarcasm. I know how that feels because I do it too from time to time. I often ask myself why should choose a low life loser who plays video games all day over. Let's not go there. I mean, I understand you're frustrated, but let's not call those people low life losers, because some people are professionally gaming, you know, and they have YouTube channels and people follow them, and then they do this for a living. But and you really don't have to go I mean, you don't have to, you shouldn't go down the route of why were they better than me or whatever, because they aren't. Okay, we are all humans. There is no better than someone else or um anything like that. We are good for the people that know to appreciate our qualities, and we are bad for the people that don't. So there is no notion of we are better than X or less good than Y. We are good for the people that choose us. Uh, who is actively doing real and big adult things to create a beautiful life. Okay, I get the point. I get that you're trying to make a beautiful life for your wife and for yourself, and build something with someone, and that is beautiful. But you know, as I've said before, don't compare your vision with other people's vision. It might simply have been a mismatch of personality, and of priorities. Maybe at the time, y- you know, maybe she simply didn't share the same priorities and values as you. And I don't condone what she had done. That is wrong. That she cheated on you and so on. But you also need to see this for what it was, and that is someone who did not share the same values as you, and now you have all the time in the world to look for someone who does. So this is an opportunity for you to just find that person who you can share the life with and share your vision. And it doesn't prevent you from building that vision for yourself as well. Video game addiction. Sorry, I was a little bit earlier. Uh, and the answer I've landed on is excitement. Those random losers, kiddo boys in a video game chat lobby made her feel more excited and seen than the man who took charge of his own life to give her a better one. Video game addiction is real, and you can lose your significant other to it in more ways than just the game itself, but the people they meet in the games too. By the way, none of the men she met live in the United States at all, they just made her feel something new and excited. Look, it's not even about that, okay? I mean, uh, I share your point that video game addiction is real, but I don't think this was about video game addiction. I think this was simply about something new and exciting in the sense of you know other men, other experiences, and so on. And she simply did not share your values and your morals, and that's fine. I mean, she doesn't have to, but you also don't have to stay with her. Okay? And that's my story. Thanks for coming to, to my TED talk. I love that you're using sarcasm. Sarcasm is our weapon. uh, you are better now, and I'm so glad to hear that you're feeling better. My family, friends, and chain of command have done their part to support me through this, and I'm a firm believer that life will only get better from here for me. And that's right, okay? And that's right for anyone who might listen to my rant here. You are not alone, and you will get through whatever you are going through, one step at a time, and things will definitely be better. That was our love inspection for today, and I hope to see you in our next video. For now, bye bye.